All right, welcome back to another one of our film reviews. Today we are talking Pittsburgh Steelers rookie edge defender Jack Sawyer. Sawyer's going to get a lot more playing time due to the Highsmith injury. He's going to have to step up, and the good news is for the Steelers defense, he's ready to do that. Had a solid performance in the extra snaps he got against the Seattle Seahawks in a disappointing Steelers defeat. We'll break down everything he did so well. As always, in the comment section below, give us any feedback you might have. If you're a fan of these film reviews and want to help support us or do more of them, consider becoming a member of this channel. There's a link in the description box below that'll take you right there. But without further ado, let's jump right into the film. All right, let's open up with a run defense, and there's Sawyer, number 33, right there on the right side of your screen. So what the Seattle Seahawks are going to do here is they're going to run a toss this direction. They're going to have Cooper Kupp, their wide receiver on the right here. He's going to do a crackback block. He's going to try and pin the defender inside. He initially is targeting Sawyer, but because Sawyer bounces outside, he works up to the next level. The Seattle Seahawks are also going to bring number 40, their fullback, a good fullback, in motion. His job then is to pick up number 33, but Sawyer fights through the block there, ends up making the play for the Steelers defense. Again, not a great first two games for Pittsburgh defensively, but Sawyer, especially against Seattle, a bright spot to this team. Let's check it out. All right, there's a motion. There's a snap. There's a pitch outside. Sawyer's there to help blow it up, finish it up, make the play. Good D. All right, let's break this down here. So you can see right all the way at the beginning of the snap, you can see Cooper Kupp, number 10, the Seattle Seahawks receiver. He's trying to crack back block right there. He initially is going for Sawyer, but Sawyer sees it coming and goes outside. Good edge contained defender, well coached, Ohio State. Good job. You always have to do your job first. I know Steelers fans don't like to hear the Bill Belichickism, but it is true. Defense is always about assignment football. Sawyer starts with a good note there. Takes on number 40, outside leverage. Olays him easily, who's a good fullback, by the way. That's Robbie Utes for Seattle. He's a really good player for the Seattle Seahawks. Sawyer, though, dodges him easily and is there to clean up with 95, can't finish the play. Again, Sawyer, not a great start in the preseason OTAs training camp. Had a few, I'll say, iffy practices and iffy moments, but he's gotten better and better with more reps. At the time, I think a lot of people viewed it as a steal when the Steelers selected him in the NFL draft. He's starting to emerge and live up to that talent. Really good run defense, like you see here. After the wide copy, you can see Sawyer at the bottom of your screen. You get the motion, goes outside the receiver, Olays the fullback, and is right there to clean it up and make the tackle. The Steelers' run defense, not great the first two games of the season. I think Sawyer's going to be a big part of trying to get a lot better with Highsmith out. Again, a lot more opportunities, a lot more weight on this rookie's shoulders. I think he's up to the challenge. Again, this is why you draft a guy with championship collegiate pedigree. He's been in big moments. He's had to step up and make plays in late playoff games, fourth quarter playoff games, national championship games, national semifinal games. Sawyer's been there, done that. NFL, of course, is a different animal, but he's not going to be intimidated by any circumstance. I think more opportunities, more reps, and this rookie will shine like we see here for the Pittsburgh Steelers. All right, one of my favorite things about Sawyer, you can see him right there, number 33 on the left side of your screen, is he's not afraid to get nasty, get into trenches, and really just get in the mud. So you can see right here, he's reduced down from his defensive end perspective. Instead of being like an edge defender like you see 51 all the way over here like we saw in the first play, he's reduced down inside. He's basically a 7 technique right here on the outside shoulder of that tight end, and he's going to be caught in a power concept here for the Seattle Seahawks. The Seattle Seahawks are going to do double team action, working up to the next level, double team action here. They're going to try and pull the backside guard, fullback leading through, running back leading through, just like this. Again, it's a power concept for the Seattle Seahawks. I want you guys to watch Sawyer here and how he handles this. Fights off the double team, ends up making the tackle. Good effort, good hustle, good playmaking ability from the Steelers rookie. Let's check it out. All right, there's a snap. There's the power concept. There's the hole. This looks like a touchdown, right? One with the safety. This Steelers run defense, not good, guys. Look at Sawyer. He actually gets blocked down inside pretty good. That's not great right there. Not a good position. But guess what he does? He fights through it all, and he makes a tackle and limits the game. This is what the Steelers have been missing at times. We're seeing 95 get blown across the field. 97, not a great start to the season. 41, out of position. A lot of times. Number 6, not a great start to the season either. I mean, he gets caught in the trash right there. He gets blown out of the way, running right at him, and he gets nowhere near the running back, right? You can see 41 caught inside. This is going to be a touchdown, or at least a big play. 22, the last line of defense, one-on-one free safety. Don't like the odds right here. But Sawyer fights through the trash, gets blown off the football a little bit on the double team. You can see there, like to have a little lower pad level. See that football position right there for number 33. That's not great, but I love the fight. I love the effort, and that's what the Steelers have missed defensively the first two games. Him and Y.A. Black. Y.A. Black's been playing good football, if I'm being totally honest, but honestly, those two rookies by themselves, they've been doing the dirty work, fighting and scratching to try and give this team a chance. You see Sawyer here. Not a great play technically, but he still makes a tackle and limits the damage, a big part of what he'll have to do going forward in this defense.
Yeah, Nick, and we look, Sawyer, run defense, known pass rusher, but done a great job in run defense. I think the story of Sawyer from week 1 to week 2 is growth, going from week 1 59.7 run defense grade to week 2 65.4, solid run defense grade, acceptable, doing some good job there in the run defense game. I think he's shown growth, and that we're starting to see he's getting it. It's coming up into speed. And I think with Highsmith being out, Sawyer's going to be a guy that can come in and do a great job in the run defense game for the Steelers.
All right, let's go with a little pass rush, and there's Sawyer right there, line up on the left side of your screen. You can see TJ Watt right there is right next to him. So this is a situation right here that I call a check the box kind of play, which means you got to make this play. You got to check that box because obviously the Seattle Seahawks, they're very much worried about number 90, and the interior offensive line are worried about these interior defensive linemen. So what happens? No one blocks Jack Sawyer. This is a situation where if you go on block, you better darn sure make the sack. You got to make the play. You can't miss. You can't do anything stupid. Good news is Sawyer isn't stupid. He gets the job done here. Let's check it out. All right, there's a snap, little play action pass. No one blocks 33, down for a sack. What you have to do, you have to check the box. Look at the attention number 90 gets. There were 3 guys running at TJ Watt right there. My goodness gracious, this is insane. Sawyer is unblocked right there. Initially, I think he's surprised. Watch him out of his stance right here. He takes a step inside. He's like, what's going on? And he puts his foot in the ground and says, well, I'm just going to get the sack. Again, if you go unblocked, you've got to make the play. And I know it sounds cliche and it sounds simple. I can't tell you how many times we've seen it. And I know you Steelers fans, you've seen it sometimes over the years. Guys go unblocked, they overrun the quarterback, they miss, they hit him too high, too low, get a penalty. That happens a lot more than we care to admit. Sawyer, good clean tackle right here, gets him right around the chest level, doesn't throw him down with anything stupid. Good fundamental play. Again, completely unblocked. You got to make this sack, you got to make this play. But the good news is he checks the box, gets the job done. For the wide copy, you're going to see all the attention TJ Watt gets right here. I mean, look at this. My goodness gracious. This is a situation where if I'm the Steelers, I know it's probably unrealistic to expect this to happen all the time, but I line Sawyer up right next to TJ Watt. I think you're going to create a lot of confusion potentially there. Sawyer's going to get a lot of favorable matchups, maybe not necessarily unblocked, but maybe one-on-one on running backs, things like that. That could create some havoc for the defenses going forward, for the offense going forward, excuse me. I think the Steelers, if they do things like this, they could create some negative plays. I really hope Terrell Austin implements this kind of play. All right, this is one of the crazier schemes I've seen all Sunday. You can see Sawyer right there, line up on the left side of your screen. This is just going to be an inside run concept going this direction here for the Seattle Seahawks. What they're going to do is they're going to bring tight end in motion here. He's going to be a lead blocker here. They're going to have the fullback lead through here, and then counter action right direction right here for the Seattle Seahawks. Now, normally how this works, right, defensive line-wise, right, you got your edge rushers, your defensive linemen, your linebackers, your multiple levels of defense, and they all have different gap responsibilities. And if there's a guy in motion, usually the guy who's covering him, like a corner or a safety or a linebacker, is going to follow him. What the Steelers do, it's so wild. They have Sawyer. You see what he's looking at right there? They have him follow this guy in motion right here, this tight end, this lead blocker. An absolutely crazy scheme. It works out well, though. I want to see a lot more of this. This could be a really unique way to play defense going forward. Let's check it out. There's some motion. You see Sawyer follow him, and then snuffs out the run. I've never seen this before, guys. I mean, we see like linebackers or safeties follow tight end in motion. We see that, all the time. It's like commonplace. Have you ever seen a defensive end and edge rusher follow the tight end motion across the formation and then make the play in the hole? I mean, how do you stop this play for an opposing offense? Because if you don't run it at the tight end, you're running it right at TJ Watt, which is not a good recipe for success, of course. So I think this is what Terrell Austin has in his, to use going forward. I want to see this a lot. We talked about pairing Sawyer up with Watt on the same side going forward. This is what I want to see, guys. Look at this. I mean, this is so creative. There's no solution to this for any offense going forward. This is going to be awesome. And give credit to Sawyer. Again, it's one thing to just follow the blocker. It's another thing right here at the snap to make the tackle. Really good job by number 33. I think the Steelers defense, as bad as they've been stopping the run at times over the first 2 weeks of the season, I think right here with this scheme, this strategy, they've got something here that could be a big weapon for them going forward.
Yeah, Nick, and we talk about Sawyer and what he's able to bring to the table. One thing I see in the limited snaps that he's gotten so far this season is when he makes tackles, when he makes plays, he makes them count. He's got 4 tackles on the season, all in this game. He's got 4 stops on the season. So each one of those tackles he makes wasn't somebody that got by him and he tackles him a little bit further down the field. They're all plays that are considered losses for the offense. Like here, gets the guy behind the line of scrimmage, gets the sack. This is a guy who it makes big plays, and they're all plays that are positive for this defense. This is really great sign. I think in the limited snaps he's got 4 tackles, 4 stops, looking really good for Jack Sawyer.
All right, now let's go to some pass rush. You can see Sawyer right there line up on the right side of your screen, and he's going to be one-on-one in this situation right here on the left tackle. He's got this left tackle. Obviously, you can see Hayward, 97. You can see Watt all the way over here on the left. You're going to get a lot of one-on-one opportunities if you're Sawyer, and I love his approach. He uses my favorite move. We're talking speed to power. Blows this offensive tackle right into the quarterback's lap. Throws off the timing here a little bit. The receiver is able to make the catch on the slightly errant throw. The Steelers, however, they need more from their stars in terms of the pass rush department. Let's check it out. All right, there's a snap. Pressure on the quarterback's lap. Errant throw, but still completed. Nice catch by Cooper Kupp. All right, let's look at Sawyer on the right side of your screen right here. Again, threatens with speed, goes to power, walks a tackle into the quarterback's lap. That's what you want. Don't get cute. Don't do any funky little spin move or swim move or anything like that. You're a big, strong edge rusher. Use it to your advantage. He uses his length, his strength, and blows this left tackle all the way back into the quarterback's lap right there. You can see Sam Darnold, the quarterback, gets uncomfortable. See how the 14, Sam Darnold has to like scoot a little bit away right there? That's where you want TJ Watt or Hayward, your stars, to make plays. Where are the stars, guys? Where's 97? Where's 90? Right? They're nowhere near the quarterback. Sam Darnold has all day, goes to his third read. You've got Sawyer, the backup in there, the rookie, blowing the left tackle into the quarterback's lap. He can't step into this throw at all. He gets nothing behind it. How is he not getting hit by 97 or 90 right here? This is the problem with the Steelers defense right now, is that their stars aren't stepping up. Sawyer, in limited reps against Seattle due to the injury, got better and better. I think he'll have a big impact going forward, replacing Highsmith until Highsmith returns. But this is a problem with Pittsburgh in terms of a macro level. Their superstars, Watt, Hayward specifically, have not been stepping up, have not been making enough plays, and this is a great example of it. You've got Sawyer pushing the pocket in one direction, whereas everyone else completely locked up, results in a good completion for the opposition. All right, from the wide copy, you can see Sawyer right here. Good speed to power. Blow this tackle back on the quarterback's lap. That's what you want. Again, you prefer, like in a perfect world, Sawyer beat him completely and get a sack, right? But look, that's not going to happen every time. These are professional left tackles, right? These are good pass blockers. Doing this should be enough to allow your stars, the guys you pay a lot of money to, Hayward, Watt, right? A little bit of a contract negotiation this offseason. These guys got to live up to the deals. They're not doing it, guys. That can't happen, right? Big moment of the game. You've got your rookie in there getting some pocket pressure. You need your stars to step up. The Steelers are going to need a lot more of this from Watt and Hayward going forward. All right, quick break in the film review. Look, I was taught to break down film by my college coaches at the Division I level. All the players are. It's just a fact of playing football at that level. And I want to take this opportunity to give you guys, the average fan, more opportunities to get that insider knowledge of how the game is taught at that highest level of college football. I created a checklist, a step-by-step guide for you guys, 100% free. That's based on how I was taught to break down film by my coaches and that I use today to create these film reviews. There's a link in the description box below that'll take you right to it. I really appreciate it if you guys decide to get it. Again, 100% free, just trying to share information to you guys, stuff that was taught to me by my coaches. But without further ado, let's get back into the film. All right, going back to some run defense, and there's Sawyer right there on the right side of your screen. So the Seahawks are going to run a gap concept right here. So we're going to get double teams right here, working up to the next level. Double team right here, working up to the next level. Block there, tackle working out to Sawyer. You can see Sawyer's on an island right here, so he's going to set the edge, right? He's going to make sure he's got an outside contain. Running back's going inside right here, looking to find a hole wherever he can. And this is a situation where Sawyer does a good job. He does his assignment and then comes off and makes a tackle. Again, he's playing at a high effort. He's doing his job and then moving quickly. He's making plays. Need more of this from the other guys on the Steelers defense. Let's check it out. All right, there's the snap. There's the inside run. Running back jumps around again. And there's Sawyer to clean it up. All right, let's look at number 6 right here. This is kind of what I'm talking about. I'm talking about your stars making plays. Does a really good job, right? 76, good rookie offensive lineman, sheds him. He's right there to make the tackle and gets completely juked around. How does this happen that you have number 9, the running back, is able to juke to his left, juke to his right, run around, and still not have anyone on him until Sawyer, the defensive end, makes the play? I mean, where are your linebackers? Where's Wilson? Where's your nose guard? Right here. He's getting completely blown off the football. He's getting driven back. My goodness gracious. Let's look at Sawyer right here. Is he doing well? Yeah, he's doing his job. He's setting the edge, outside contain. That's good. Then he dish rags and then makes the play. That's not his job. He's going above and beyond. You got these linebackers out of position. You got linebackers missing tackles in the hole. You got defensive linemen getting blown off the football. This is a problem with the Steelers defense, guys. Sawyer, he's ready to step up. The more I saw from his Seahawks film, he's a guy that after some concerns early, very early in his career, he seems to address a lot of them. He plays with a high motor, good technique. He does his job. He does his assignments. The rest of the Steelers, honestly, they're not living up to their end of the bargain. I'm excited to see what number 33 does going forward. I think he can bring some change to the Steelers up front, especially, again, with the Highsmith injury. But they're going to need more from their stars and their big name guys if they want to improve up front.
Yeah, and we talk Sawyer. Let's just talk overall how he's matching up against other rookies around the league. Amongst 23 edge defenders playing so far, Sawyer doing a really great job. He's in the top five with the limited play, and I think edge defenders, the more chances they get, if they're a good player, the better their stats are going to be. So with limited play, Sawyer top five, but he's actually number one in something that counts a whole lot, and that's the ability to make the tackle. Tackling grade 75.7, number one amongst all rookie edge defenders. So Sawyer looking good amongst his peers. I think this was a really great get for the Steelers.
All right, let's end on a coverage play from Sawyer. There he is right there on the right side of your screen. So it's going to be a play action this direction. The Seattle Seahawks, and you can see it already right there. They're going to pull the guard. They're selling run, everything this direction. They're going to get a bootleg from the tight end working out in the flat. Sawyer, again, smart, savvy play. He does his job. He completely covers this tight end. Great job in coverage. We've seen him in run defense. We've seen him in pass rush do some good things. Now in coverage. Again, good assignment football. He's doing his part. I'm excited to see what he does going forward. Let's check this play out. There's a snap, little play fake. There's a rollout. Sawyer right there taking away the tight end. Still able to complete the ball for a nice first down. Again, I don't want to blame 95. He's got good effort there. That's not on him. Again, 11's a good player. I don't know what the Steelers defensive backs are doing there. That's not great coverage. But this is one of the things with the Steelers, right? You have your role players, you have your rookies, you have Sawyer. He's doing his job. He's covering the tight end, leaking out in the flat, locking him down completely eliminating him. That's where the play is designed to go, right? This is where you want to look for if you're the quarterback. You're expecting to run this play and have him be wide open. It's not there, so he has to go to JSN coming across the field. Again, Sawyer's doing his job and doing it at a high level. They need more from everybody else. I know I've said that a bunch, but it's so true in the Steelers defense. And you can see it from the wide copy here. Once Sawyer at the bottom of the screen, read, run, see it's a pass, immediately lock down this tight end. Again, good team football, doing his job, doing his assignment, doing it at a high level. Smart, savvy, that's what Sawyer's going to bring. That's what people thought he was going to bring when he was drafted out of Ohio State, and he's living up to that. The physicality is starting to come. The run defense is there. They're using him in some unique ways with TJ Watt on the field. I want to see a lot more of that. Terrell Austin needs to keep that coming. I think they're on to something there. But when you look at Sawyer as a complete player, he brings everything. Smart, savvy, coverage, run defense, pass rush. He's going to have to step up. Steelers fans with the absence of Highsmith, but I think he's more than able to do that. I think he's going to be a great addition as the Steelers try and turn this thing around.